Pet ownership is one of the most enriching experiences in one's life and the most shocking to the wallet. Sometimes the lure of a cute puppy or fluffy kitten is so strong that the decision to bring a pet into the home becomes an impulse buy. But this is a serious commitment. As much as our pets need love and patience, they also require annual visits to the vet, vaccines, grooming, food, and bedding. It's important to remember that there is more to owning a pet than the initial adoption fee, and to be aware of the annual cost of pet ownership before bringing home a new furry friend. Most pets can live for more than 10 years, leaving some pet lovers unprepared for the bill attached to owning and caring for an animal responsibly. So if you're thinking about getting a pet, you should be ready to back up your good intentions with a hefty contribution from your wallet. But how hefty can it be? Stay tuned as we look at the cost of owning a pet. Let's look at some statistics from the American Pet Products Association. According to the American Pet Products Association, Americans collectively spend $103.6 billion on their pets in 2020, an increase from $97.1 billion they spent on pets in 2019. Of that almost $104 billion, $42 billion went towards food and treats, $22.1 billion went to supplies like over-the-counter medicine, and $31.4 billion was spent on vet care and pet products. Pet services including boarding, grooming, insurance, training, pet sitting, and walking made up the remaining $8.1 billion. So how much does that come down to for an individual pet owner? The ASPCA estimates that if you're thinking about adopting a pet like a cat or a dog, expect to spend between $1,100 and $3,200 in the first year. That includes the adoption fee, the cost of spaying or neutering your pet if the welfare organization didn't already do it, food, vaccinations, supply, bedding, and crates. Here is a simpler breakdown. Adoption fees. Regardless of where you live, the cost of acquiring a new pet is significant. Your first year of owning a pet is often the most expensive due to the one-time startup cost. Expect to pay anywhere between $1,500 to $2,000 during your first year of pet ownership. Adoption fees vary depending on whether you adopt from a shelter, breeder, or pet store. Generally, adopting from a shelter is the most affordable option, and the most initial expense, such as spay and neuters, vaccinations, microchips, and other veterinary visits, are often included in the adoption fee. According to the Annual Humane Society, standard shelter adoption fees usually range from around $100 to $700 for dogs and $30 to $300 for cats. Some animals may cost more if they have a particular medical condition or a more exotic breed. When buying directly from a breeder or pet store, expect to pay more. In fact, according to Prudent Pet Insurance, some dog breeds can cost as much as $14,000 to adopt. Pets from breeders typically come with their first set of shots included, but other vaccinations and procedures, including spaying and neutering, may not be included. Even if you get your pet for free, the ongoing cost of caring for it represents the real expense. Common one-time expenses. Several one-time expenses pop up when you buy a new cat or dog. These can include spaying or neutering, vaccinations, rabies shots, microchipping, licensing, and training. Vaccinations. If you get a new puppy or kitten, you need to get them vaccinated. Your initial round of jabs will cost around $150, but you'll also need to factor in the annual boosters, which can cost around $60. But if you get a rescue puppy or kitten, they'll often have the first round of injections done for you before taking them home. Spaying or neutering a pet. You might think this is a pretty standard operation that would come with a pretty standard price too, but no. The cost of spaying or neutering your pets varies a lot. While the average cost is between $70 and $200, it can cost a lot more if you have a bigger dog and up to several hundred pounds for very large canines. Recurring annual costs of owning a pet. According to the ASPCA, the average cost of owning a pet can range from $700 to $1,100 per year, depending on the type of pet and its size. Bigger animals typically eat more food. Food. The most obvious cost is food, which may come from unusual places. Nestle owns Purina after all. Every pet has to eat, whether it's fish flakes, rabbit pellets, dog kibble, or cat food. One thing is certain, they all cost money. According to the American Pet Products Association, APPA, 2019 and 2020 National Pet Owners Survey, feeding a cat can cost on average $5.50 per week, which rises to $6.44 a week for a dog. If you have a large dog weighing at least 55 pounds and feed it premium dog food, that $6.44 can balloon to around $63 a week. Food expenses vary based on the size and energy level of your dog and the quality of the food. Special foods like veterinary therapeutic diets or freshly made special order food may cost around $100 or more a month. Most pet owners also spring for more than a few toys, treats, beds, leashes, cages, carriers, obedience training sessions, and other extras. Nonetheless, pet food is one expense where you can't cut too many corners, so keep the cost of food in mind when you choose a particular pet. Toys. Toys are an important part of your pet's mental stimulation and exercise. Though some of us may indulge, you can probably plan on spending $25 to $150 per year. If you're like those of us who can't resist a cute toy, this figure can become several $100s higher. Another reason you may spend more on toys, a very destructive dog may go through toys faster. So if you have one of these dogs, invest in a toy designer for tough chewers. Beds. All pets deserve a cozy bed, and keeping one or two around the house will cost you $50 to $200 a year. Prices go up with size and quality. Getting durable, high-quality, and easy-to-clean pet beds can extend the life of the beds and keep costs down in the long run. Grooming. Your pet's grooming needs are largely based on the type of the hair coat he has. Smooth-coated, short-haired pets require little more than basic grooming, while pets with constantly growing hair will need to visit the groomer regularly. Between the cost of grooming tools and visits to the groomer, you can plan on spending anywhere from $30 to $500 a year. Preventive medications and supplements. All pets need medications to prevent heartworms, fleas, ticks, and other parasites. Your veterinarian will guide you towards the best products based on your climate and your pet's needs. Vitamins are not normally needed for pets on completely balanced diets. However, your vet sometimes recommends supplements like glucosamine or omega-3s. In general, you'll probably spend around $100 to $500 per year for these items, depending on the size of your pet and their specific needs. Pet sitters or boarding. Most people will have to leave their pets behind once or twice a year. Typically, this will cost about $100 to $300 a year. However, if you travel frequently, expect to spend much more. Boarding tends to cost less than hiring a pet sitter, but many pet owners prefer the individual attention a pet sitter can offer and think it's worth the extra expense. Alternatively, you can decide to travel with your dog. You can expect your travel fees to increase. You might also need a dog walker while at work or boarding a few times a week. These costs can vary, so be sure to shop around for a service you trust. Medical care. Medical care is another guaranteed expense. Four-legged friends need basic medical care to prevent future problems. Even fish get sick. For dogs and cats, a yearly checkup is a routine maintenance. According to the APPA survey, the average American spends around $638 in medical expenses per dog each year. Medical expenses for cats are estimated to be around $374 per year, although most cat owners have more than one. Economically speaking, routine veterinary care is similar to taking your car in for an inspection. Like an auto inspection, a visit to the vet sometimes identifies additional issues that need to be addressed. These issues are often expensive. Diagnostic testing for cancer can easily top the $1,000 mark, while CT scans go for $1,500 to $2,500, and MRIs run $2,000 to $3,000, and that doesn't include surgical care or long-term treatments and medications. The APPA survey estimates the average cost of surgical care for a pet to be around $426 for a dog, $214 for a cat. Collectively, Americans spend a whopping $29.3 billion on veterinary care for pets in 2019, and that number is forecast to rise to $30.2 billion in 2020. The cost of owning your pet could run anywhere from a few $100s to several $1,000s each year, depending on which kind of pet you choose and what situations you encounter. Keep this in mind when you're in the market for a pet. After all, an animal has no choice but to rely on you to provide for its needs. If you're contemplating the addition of a pet to your family, plan accordingly and approach the issue with realistic expectations of the financial implications. Your pet and your family will be better off for the effort. And that's it for today. We hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to subscribe to our channel for more of our awesome content. And please give us a like and share the video. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell for timely updates of our new uploads. We value your feedback. Feel free to share your thoughts with us in the comments section down below, and we'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.